let's get into who you think the 49ers are targeting at 3 and who they essentially would have been happy with getting when they made that maneuver on Zach Wilson's pro day, the day that we all assumed the Jets fell completely head over heels. We're definitely taking him. We're trading Sam Darnold away in love with Zach Wilson. Your thoughts on that subject, Joel Klatt?
Well, I think it's kind of a foregone conclusion what's happening in the top 2 picks. So I think that you're right. The 49ers movement, I think, clearly was for a specific player and this is where I feel like maybe we haven't dug quite deep enough, and or to be in a position to be the one that dictates where the rest of them go, right? So it's not enough. So I've heard a couple of people say, well, Denver doesn't have to move because they like all these guys. Yeah, but why let somebody else make that decision for you?
Right.
Doesn't it seem like a position that you should probably make that decision for yourself? Now, maybe some organizations are scared to do that. Maybe they're a little gun shy. Certainly Denver might fall into that category after all the swings and misses that they've had post the Peyton Manning era there in Denver. But having said that, I think that San Francisco made that move because John Lynch wanted to control the table. He wanted to be in the first seat at the blackjack table and not allow somebody to bust in front of him just so that he could get a card that he didn't, realize that he wanted. A lot of analogies to say I can see them going in any number of different directions. I always have a hard time in my role taking my own opinion out of it.
Right.
Rich?
Sure.
Because I'm hearing that they really like Mac Jones. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, but he's not the best prospect of the 3. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Not that he's a bad prospect. I love Mac Jones.
Of course.
I love his anticipation. He throws with great touch. He controls the game from the pocket. He ran an offense not all that dissimilar to what he would be afforded the opportunity to run in San Francisco. But having said that, he doesn't have the size and talent that these other guys do, specifically Trey Lance and Justin Fields. I think that the knocks on Justin Fields and the narratives surrounding Justin Fields have been completely blown out of proportion and are completely false. He's my second-best quarterback overall in the draft, right behind Trevor Lawrence. In fact, when he played Clemson this last year and was putting on a historically great performance in that semifinal after it looked like he was playing with a lacerated kidney or a ruptured spleen, remember after that hit, there was conversations about, hey, is he making a push to the number 1 spot? One of my biggest pet peeves with this entire draft process is when there's all this movement after guys are actually on the field. Justin Fields is a phenomenal player. We haven't seen his size and speed and accuracy down the field maybe ever. Fields led the Power 5 in back-to-back years in terms of his production through the air, 70% one year, 72% the other. He was attacking down the field. His yards per attempt were way up there. He can run it. He can do all of those things. He has one bad game against Indiana in a year in which they don't have a fall camp. He's pressing to get himself back into the Heisman Trophy race and get his team back on the footing where they can go to the playoff, and everyone wants to throw him down the draft board. I don't quite understand it. So if I was making the selection for the 49ers, I would select Justin Fields. I think he's the best prospect at the spot. But I am hearing, as is everybody, that they love Mac Jones, and I think it's because Kyle Shanahan believes that he can come in and contribute, and not only contribute, but play right away.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.